Welcome to Man's Man Monday, a production of the James McGee Show, where it's okay to be masculine, it's okay to be tough, and it's okay to be, well, be a man. Be a man. Join your host, James McGee, on discussions what a man should be and put an end to the toxic masculinity movement.
Several years ago, a friend of mine and I were talking about raising kids. At that time, my kids were younger, probably teenagers. And he told me a story about him and his brother, who were very close and had kids close in age. And his brother, they were raised, kind of like in my generation. Or it is my generation. They're raised like me, old school parents. And both of them, him and his brother, both turned out pretty well, very successful. So he was telling me that his brother, he was raising his kids different. And one day they were together, and his kids were just out of control, out of order. And he told him, and you got to be careful when you talk about people's kids and how they're raising them. But he felt like they were close enough, and he said, "Hey, I'm a little concerned about how you're raising your kids." And he shut him down and he said, "I'm choosing not to raise my kids like mom and dad raised us." Well, my friend had a very good point. He said, "Well, I understand, they were pretty hard on us. But both of us went to college, owned businesses, became very successful and beautiful families." And he said something that resonated with me until this day, and I tell this story often. He said, "Can you argue with the results?" So that's something that, and I don't generation bash. I'm the first one to say that anything wrong with the generation under us, our kids, or our fault. We raised them. But they're a very smart generation. They're a lot of good with them. But one thing that has been lost is the teaching of being a man's man. So I was visiting with a guy who's become a friend of mine. He is a local gym owner. He opened a gym down the road from where I live. First class. This is a first class facility, and he's having an event in a couple weeks. It's a tug of war, and the way he is organizing it is it's going to be a really good event. Now, this is something local, and I don't talk about local things too much on this show, but it goes into the whole philosophy of being a man's man and what has been lost. He's going to come on the show in a couple of weeks and talk about the event, but more than just talk about the event, which is local. Everybody could hear, needs to hear, every man needs to hear his rationale for this event, what he's looking to get out of it, because he recognizes as a man's man, we have a natural, people are trying to take our natural instincts from us, which is not okay. And it should never, there's no reason to, because we need men. We need real men in this world, men who will fight, men who will defend, men who will build roads and build buildings. A bunch of pansies, a bunch of weak males are not going to do these things. We need men, real masculine men. And my friend gets it. He understands. And the reasons of, besides bringing the community together and having something fun, his passion for having an event like this is very admirable. And he's going to come on and talk about that. And like I said, it definitely coincides to what the movement I'm trying to be involved in, is bringing back that it's okay to be a man. Because can you argue with the results, like my other friend said? Can you argue with the results of what letting men be men? And you know what? You don't really have to teach being a man's man. We naturally, men will be men when you let them. You don't have to teach them, but what we can't do is teach the opposite, that it is not okay to be a man. And as you will learn with when my friend comes on, it is natural for us to compete. It is natural for us to fight. It is natural for these things that we need to just let men naturally be men. Have a good week coming up this week. Hopefully, have a really working on a really good guest to come on live and talk about some politics. But so we will probably be Tuesday or Wednesday, and then of course I will be back Friday. Until then, McGee is out.